Okay, so impure nodes are not easy to work with. I mean, I need 45 reanimated stim a minute. In order to get that, I need 180 out of this node. Now, how would I do that? I'd have to use, let me see, if I can I put down another, it looks like I actually can do this. A March 3, miner. Thing should produce like 120, and then I overclock it a bit. This area is relatively open. Put this down. Overclock it to 1.5 times. Now that's 180 a minute. Now what about clear these out of the way here. Oh, what am I thinking? I got a shortcut key for it that I keep forgetting about. Now, reanimated strange alien matter. How much of it? 120 a minute. Okay. In that case, I'll have to underclock these. But first, a splitter. Yeah, take this out first. Can I really not line this up? There. Okay. It's 180 a minute, and then that there, that over there. I'll underclock them both so that they only put out... Wait a minute. 90 a minute. That's... Goodness, these don't really divide evenly. 30 doesn't divide into 4. But the percentage of clock speed is easy. It's 75. Merge these two together for a total of 45 minutes. And where to put the drone ports? I mean, I plan on adding a storage container as a buffer, even though the drone port I think has its own bits. But I'm not sure that will be big enough to last for the entire for an entire flight of a drone. So look how big this thing is. I'll be loading fuel here. This might inconvenience me somewhat in getting to Freighter Lake. I don't know whether jumping over a conveyor belt... Okay, maybe this is far enough away. Jumping over a conveyor belt shouldn't inconvenience me that much. I suppose half the problem with this is that I wasn't really sure where the drone port would fit. It's practically hanging off the edge there. So I'm going to call this... there, Hilltop Sand. power source right over there. And there's the power to the factory. I suppose I had to put a switch. Is this another power pole? It is, but it's for the hypertube, so I don't think it's all that relevant. I'm going to take. I'm going to put a power switch here. Call it. Hilltop Sam Factory. Mark II power pole should cover everything here. There isn't that much, it's just a couple of constructors. Come to think of it, I might actually be able to get away with a Mark I power. Yeah, 'cause there's only 3 things here. Is this really jagged for power? But I suppose that maybe that's the diamond factory, or sorry, the time crystal factory. It's got its own fluctuations, and it's a lot faster than the nuclear pasta factory. So, how'd that work? I think even if I round it up to 6,000, it should be able to take. It's still substantially below the 9,000 or 8,900 that that I'm producing right now. So, with that in mind, I'm going to turn this factory on. And then go over back to the fixed site factory and set up the drone port for it. Now, one thing I forgot was that we don't really need fixed site ingots. We need trigons. So I'm getting 15 fixed site ingots in a minute. I'm going to have to make those into trigons. I don't know why they're called trigons. You might as well call them triangles, just for simplicity's sake, but I suppose you have to be, you have to give it that extra flair. Surface, not that it's in the way of something. So I'm going to need to make a foundation for it. Pixite Trigons. I'm gonna have to overclock this to match the output. The output of this is 15 a minute. Trigons are only for like 10, so this ought to be enough. Yeah, 45 Trigons a minute. And maybe supposed to keep things consistent. I ought to extend foundation this way. Put the industrial storage container right next to it. Of course, this thing needs power. Where's that pole? There we go. Put that over here. Now for the drone port, which is going to need its own bit of power. Should be plenty of room, but said that last time. Like I was trying to place not just a building, but a whole block of them. But I suppose this is good enough. I mean, as long as it'll go down, that's fine. Call this the I've got some rocket fuel, the drone here. Destination should be the Hilltop's Strange Alien Matter node. And I'll route that to the factory. Yeah, it's 2 kilometers. It shouldn't be that hard to... it shouldn't be that hard to traverse, because, well, there's all these hypertubes. So, I'm going to have to connect that to like directly to power rather than have the switch between it. There we go. So now I'm going to build a drone for the ports. Should be able to put it down here. And I suppose it should be able to take off here. I guess if it clips the rock a little, that doesn't really interfere with its operation. Good, it got out. Alright. So it should be headed for... Okay, I wasn't expecting it to bank a turn like that, but... whatever. So now it's en route to the Hilltop SAM node, which should be running. When it gets back, I gotta make sure that this thing's running too. So I'm finally gonna turn the Satisfactory on. Takes 435 megawatts. That's a considerable amount, but not that much. So this is like smacking your head on, it's like smacking your head on your desktop after you're coming out from under it. Which I try to not have happen to me, but... Oh, look at that! We've got Kateria coming in, so, sure how long it's going to take the drone to come back here. What are these icons? Oh yeah. Looks like the drone's there. Is it en route at all? Okay, apparently it is. Wait a minute. It hasn't gotten there yet? Oh, wait a second. It's moving. It looks like it's coming back here. Which is something of a relief. Now, if I understand drones correctly, it should find its way to touchdown here. This port is half embedded in the rock. I don't know where that should have... Maybe it should have just called that an invalid placement or something. It's surprising that I got away with doing that. And here it comes. It's depositing its load. If there was anything to pick up, I guess it picked it up. Although there's nothing, but if there was something, I'm picking it up then. And yep. There they are. SAM fluctuators, straight from the Hilltop SAM node. Just in time, too. exciting ingots. You can see them going into the constructor. And the trigons. You can see them coming out. Takes 4 minutes and 11 seconds for the drone to go there and... yeah, there and back. Doesn't look like it has that many of them, though. Which was always a concern of mine, that the drone wouldn't be picking up a full load. Well, regardless. Got both of these things working now. I've already got like 24 of these trigons. So I guess now the only thing I gotta do is I've got the supercomputer factory running, and I also ought to be thinking about turbo motors. I need 200 of them to unlock quantum encoding. Now those are made with cooling systems, which I have. Well, I got some anyway. Rubber and 2 other things, and I don't remember what those are. I suppose I can check using the codex. Just let me get to a stopping point here. Well, yeah, as soon as I arrive here, I'll dump off a bit more of that. Yeah. Turbo motors. They need regular motors and radio control units. So I'm going to need 400 radio control units before I can start making turbo motors. And 800 cooling systems, 800 motors, I can swing that, and whatever 6 times 800 is, 4,800 rubber. Well, I guess the real choke point here is are the radio control units. As soon as I get 400 of those, maybe I can start thinking about those turbo motors.